All right, hi 333. So this is the lesson for May 27th. In it, we're just doing some review of system of equations word problems. So in it, it says that Kristen spent $131 on shirts. Fancy shirts cost $28 and plain shirts cost $15. If in total she bought 7 shirts, then how many of each kind did she buy? So it looks like we're trying to find the amount of each one. So I'm going to define my variables. I'm going to make X equal to the amount of fancy shirts. And I'm going to make Y equal to the amount of plain shirts. Now, make sure that you are specific when you're doing this on the algebra exit exam, because if you just wrote X fancy shirts and Y plain shirts, they wouldn't be sure what you mean. Do you mean the amount? Do you mean the price? So you need to be specific, okay? So let's come up with our 2 equations. Well, we know that she paid $28 for each fancy shirt, so it's going to be 28X. And $15 for each plain, so plus 15Y. She spent a total of $131, so this equals 131. If in total she bought 7 shirts, so that means X plus Y equals 7, then we have to find out how many of each. Now, I would not suggest doing graphing when doing this because they didn't give me a graph. So I would probably use elimination or substitution. Elimination, remember, is we're going to multiply one of these by some number to get something to cancel out. Then you'll solve for X and then you'll solve for Y. Substitution is we're going to move one of these variables over and then substitute it into the other one. I'm going to choose to do substitution in this one. If you wanted to use elimination, that would be perfectly fine. So I'm going to solve for Y in this case. So I'm going to move X over. So I'm going to get Y equals negative X plus 7. Well, now that I have this, I can plug in this information for this Y up here. So I'm going to rewrite that first equation as 28X plus 15, but instead of writing Y, I'm going to write what it's equal to, negative X plus 7 equals 131. Now I can go ahead, first step as I see distributive property, so I'm going to bring down 28X. 15 times negative X is going to be negative 15X, so I'm going to write minus 15X. 15 times 7, I should know this, but I don't know 15 times 7, is 105, so plus 105, and I'm going to get 131. All right, combine like terms, 28X minus 15X, that's going to be 13X, so 13X plus 105 equals 131. All right, draw my river, subtract 105 from both sides. When I do that, I'm going to get 13X equals, well, 131 minus 105 is 1, or it's not 1, it's 26. I'm going to divide both sides by 13. And when I do that, I get X equals 2. So that means that she bought 2 fancy shirts, all right? Now, let's plug that back in so we can find Y. So instead of writing X plus Y equals 7, I'm going to do 2 plus Y equals 7. Subtract 2 from both sides. 7 minus 2 is 5, so Y equals 5. So that means she bought 5 plain shirts, and then you should have some kind of explanation sentence or something like that. So I would write down 2 fancy shirts and 5 plain shirts. All right, I'm going to put my work up for the rest of these, so make sure that you take a look at that. All right.